it is very important for us, and that we have got this tradition of yoga and meditation, which really helps people to manage stress. So I'm going to share my experience for past 50 years that I have been doing yogasanas and then meditation and all that. So let us begin with that. It is stress management through yoga and meditation. And the agenda here is a brief introduction. Then we will look at what is stress and mental health, how it impacts us. Then we look at mind, fundamental structure as defined by yogis and in yoga books. Then I will try to link asanas, pranayama, and dhyana, and then how asana, pranayama, and meditation can assist with stress management. And that's how I'll try to link it out and come back. Then some tips which I practice myself, which I found useful. There are so many of them, but I can share those thoughts with you, and then we'll finish on that note. So let us begin. As mentioned earlier, my lineage goes to Swami Shivananda, and my grandfather was initiated by Swami Shivananda, who is standing there in the court. And then I started doing yogasanas when I was 10. And so when I look back, it is almost 50 years. It's a very long time to continue pranayama, but it has given me immense benefit. And I feel that everyone should do this and get the benefit for their own health. As I mentioned, I'm also a certified yoga teacher, recognized by Ministry of Ayush, Indian government. And also I'll be finishing a course in mental health very, very soon. And from Satsang Foundation, we run mindful and wellness programs. But today, I'm specifically sharing my personal experience. So let us look at what is stress. I think I did not have to tell you what is stress. Every one of us know what it is like, feeling being overwhelmed by, unable to cope with mental or emotional pressures. So it can be a project deadline, it can be a family issue, it can be a health or trauma, whatever. And many times things will not go as per your expectations, and that starts building pressure in you. So how do you feel? You will be anxious, you'll be afraid, angry, aggressive, so on and so forth. And then many times you take it out on your family members or something that you're irritated on. But it is a natural response. It's a fight and flight response. It is required for us. Stress is required to some extent so that we will manage and improve our survival. So then what is the outcome? We all know, right? So it will start with something. It will create some heart disease. High blood pressure is one of the significant things. You get diabetes, other illnesses start coming in, and then it keeps on increasing. So what this will lead to, if you don't take care of your mind, then it will start going towards the actual mental health issue, where the anxiety will start building. Then it will lead to depression, eating disorders, and then you go for a bipolar where you've got these mood swings that happen. And then more serious part is paranoia, psychosis or schizophrenia. So there are much more deeper issues. But when I started doing this course, I didn't realize there is so much of a mental health issue in our society. I was underestimating how big it is, but it seems it's very, very important for all of us to take care of our mental health. So out of this Ashtanga Yoga, we all know there is Ashtanga Yoga. There is a Yama, Niyama, Asana, Pranayama, Pratyahara, Dhyana, Dharana, and Samadhi. Out of this today, I'm going to focus on only 3 parts, Asana, Pranayama, and Dhyana. The link. So you will say, well, that we all know this, how you are going to link this together. So stress, we already looked at stress. Now then we look at mind. So what is mind, right? So how yogi scriptures say what is mind, how it operates. Let's look at that. And then look at the physical health. And then followed by pranayama, that is for going even deeper into, and then meditation. And then how this all fits together and how we will manage our stress. So what is mind? So mind is energy. It's not a gross thing. We can't see it. We can't measure it. It is not tangible. We know that. We don't know how much storage is required for it, where it exists, how it goes. It is basically, if you look at Chandogya Upanishad, what it says, it is very subtle, made from subtle parts of the food. That's why yogis say, watch your food, what you eat, because it will convert into mind. And it will carry that impression from the subtlest form. From yogic perspective, a lot of us know, those who have been practicing yoga, that mind can be divided into 4 components. Mainly mana, the conscious mind, which we use all the time, since we get up in the morning until we sleep. Then the chitta, which is the subconscious mind, and which is very powerful. It's a powerhouse. It records everything. What they say, that it carries all the impressions from previous birth as well. So it is a powerhouse. It's a storage space which records every action we do in this life and in the previous lives. And it keeps on storing that information. And then comes the buddhi, the intellect, which will decide which is correct or not. And then the final thing is ahamkara, that we all know, that is I. So we always say, I want this, I want that, I want this. So if you look from that perspective, mana is only about 10%, the conscious thing which we are using the whole day, since we get up till we sleep. The chitta is working behind the screen, and it is going on and on even though we sleep. That's what they say. And then it is very, very powerful. And you do something, you train your subconscious mind, it will do those things for you. That's the theory. And let's look at one example, right? So what yoga says, how the mind works. We'll take a simple example of mango. So we see a mango there. It can be a tree or it can be a shop. The mind becomes a ray. That's what they say. It becomes vritti. It goes as a ray and goes and envelops the object which you are focusing on, and it sends back that information through your eyes, to your senses, back to your mind. The mind, conscious mind, does the sankalpa and vikalpa. That means it inquiry, says, what is this? What is this? I can see this object. What is it? And at that time, the chitta, the buddhi comes in to help. It says, yes, I know this. I see the record in chitta. When I was a kid, I was eating mangoes. I've been eating mangoes for a long time. And this is a mango. It confirms that it is a mango. Then the chitta comes in and says, how do I get this? And then ahankara says, yes, I want that mango. I want to eat the mango. And the message is sent out to your body to go there and grab it. So it is a shop, you go and buy it. Your legs start walking towards it. Your hands will pay. You come home, eat the mango, and that I becomes very happy and say, yep, I got the mango. And then there is one important thing. I want to underline this. What Swami Shivananda and the yogis say, the mind can process one thing or image or a thought at any given time. Remember that. So it's only one thing. It can do only one thing at a time. You can't have 2 thoughts at the same time. It will come and go. Then many people say, hey, I do multitasking. But multitasking, why you think that way? Because mind works at a tremendous speed. And then we know that, right? So it happens so fast that you think that you are doing multitasking, but it is observing, processing, and analyzing every bit of it as we go, like a film. So that is important thing. So you keep that in mind. We'll refer to this later on. Now we looked at what is stress, how it is developed. Then we looked at what is mind, how it operates. Now I'm talking about the postures, the physical thing about the gross body. We all heard about this. Healthy body leads to a healthy mind. And it has got greater benefits, and that we all agree, right? So if your body is very good, you feel good every time. That if you do go for and pump up in the gym and all that, you come back and you feel very good. Keep your body healthy, practice it at least few asanas, key asanas every day. I tell people about this. And many people complain and say, I don't have time to do yogasana. So I wanted to show you a small clip here, right? So I will click on this and hope you will be able to see it. And I hope you can see, I'm trying to do, can you see the clips?
Yeah, we can see it.
Yeah, that's good. See, I'm trying to do a Shirsasana, which is one of the most difficult asanas in Yogasana, and is king of asanas. And the reason I'm showing this is, and I filmed this about 6 weeks ago, and I do it every day. You don't need much time to do this, and that's the reason I'm showing one of the most difficult one to do and one of the most beneficial to do. And I want to wait for a few more seconds just to put my point. is that if you can see on the screen, you see the time, how much it took. I finished with it. It took about 45 seconds to about 1 minute. So that is the case. And then I will go for another one. I will show you another one example. And this is another one, which is Mayurasana, which is one of the most difficult to practice. But now you also look at the time, how much it is going to take. And the reason I did this is just to showcase what Shivananda says. If you do this, you can even digest a stone. And this is fantastic. And see how much time it is taking. It is not taking much of a time, and I'm going to finish it almost like within 30 seconds. So the whole idea here is, what I'm saying is we can find 5 minutes. I want only 5 minutes from you guys. Only 5 minutes. Do 3 or 4 asanas, 1 minute at a time, every day. That will help you going. It will generate some interest if you're not doing yoga asanas. But on the weekends, you spend more time doing that. I mean, we're not going to try to do the asana jaya, they say. If you stand in a position for 10 minutes, it is asana jaya. So we are not trying to do that. We are trying to get a good health. So I hope I have proved a point here that there is no time, but there is a time. You can take time, 5 minutes out. Let's look at the next one. So we looked at the gross body. Next part is pranayama. It is for the sukshma sharira. So basically, what is pranayama? It says it is the exact science. As per Hatha Yoga, it means control of prana. So the prana is the subtle or sukshma rupa, and the sthula or gross is the breath. And one important point here I want to say, the prana is a sum total of energies that manifest in this universe. So prana is energy, it is also called chi, right? So it goes inside. Every living being has got a prana in it. And basically, mind cannot operate without prana. If the prana is not there, there is no mind, does not exist. The vibrations of prana produce thoughts in the mind. That is very important. The vibrations of the prana produce thoughts in the mind. So let us look at, therefore, the connection here is by controlling prana, you control mind. And by controlling mind, you can manage your stress. For people and for their benefits, I want to talk a little bit of prana here. Many people may not know about it. The prana is not only the prana that goes in, but it is divided into 5 parts. So the prana, which goes in the heart center, which is responsible for doing our circulation system. Apana is the seat is anus, but it is not the gas we pass, but it is the excretion system that happens in our body, is designed and operated by apana. Then the vana is all pervading. It is their entire body. It does its job. Samana at the navel. That means it is looking after digestion, and udana is in the throat, and that is for your breathing. And then another interesting thing, there are other sub-pranas. We don't know that. I mean, we do this every day, right? Hiccups. Who does that? Hiccups is created by naga. It is a sub-prana. Opening of our eyelids. We do it every time without subconsciously, unconsciously. We keep doing it. It is done by kurma. Then the hunger and thirst we get is created by krikara. And yawning, we do it every day. It is done by Devadatta. And the one last thing, Dhananjaya, which leaves the body at the last, and it starts the decomposition after the death. And that's why we say, pack up, go within 2 hours. So I hope this is interesting information to you guys if you don't know that before. Now look at this sukshma thing. We talked about the physical body. Now we're going a bit inside, and that is pranayama. As per the yogic science, there are 72,000 nadis in the body. And they say the health problems are created because there is a blockage in the channels. By doing pranayama, we can clean the channels and remove the blockages and restore a good health. We have studied in biology, the ATP, the mitochondria, adenosine triphosphate, that is the glucose plus oxygen, creates ATP. What is it? It is a currency. It's energy currency used by every cell in our body. And by doing pranayama, you supplying that to them, and they will become very healthy. And we all know, those who are doing yoga, we have got the three main channels, nadis. The central one runs in the spine, that is the Sushumna. Then there is a left, that is Ida, and which is represented as a cool or moon. And the Pingala is a right, sun or hot. So we are not going to go deeper into it, but this is just a generic information. And what we teach in Pranayama, so we teach the key Pranayama breathing techniques. There is deep breathing, Anulom Vilom, Kapalbhati, Bhasrika, Ujjayi, and Brahmari. So people would have been practicing this. You have seen so many videos, you do this all the time. But when we teach, we also tell why we should do it, what exact happens inside us, right? So what happens physically or on medical grounds, I also explain that so that people think it is just not a given yoga books, but you actually feel that, and this is how it operates. And now if you have seen, Brahmari has become very, very important, especially in the COVID space, because they say in America, now you Google it, they say they're trying to tell people to do Brahmari. The simple reason for Brahmari is it creates, Brahmari is the bumblebee sound, we do Om. That creates nitric oxide, and that nitric oxide kills viruses. So that is very important. So practice Brahmari every day. Then we look at more advanced things, locks. So there is a Mula Bandha at the bottom, Udyan Bandha in the center, and in the tummy, and the Jalandhar Bandha in the throat. So these locks are used to play with your prana and apana, bring them up, do the channels. What they say, for a normal human body, all the prana flows between Ida and Pingala. That is more than enough for anybody to live on this earth. But those who want to make progress, they need to try to pass this prana through Sushumna, going through chakras. So that is more important. But we'll talk about that later. Now, I want to bring your attention to a scientific thing so that you will be convinced what I'm saying. I talked about Om here, but we will not look at Om meditation. But I want to draw your attention to Dr. Masaru Imoto, a Japanese scientist. He was working on the living consciousness. And then what he did was he took two water samples, one simple one from the tap and another one, he subjected that to prayers. And then he froze both the waters, and then he looked at the structure on the microscope. And this is available. You can Google Dr. Masaru Imoto. You will see so many of his videos and scientific analysis and approvals done by him. So look at the structure on the right-hand side. It's so beautiful. And look at the left-hand side, what is the situation here? Why I'm saying this? Because meditation is a vibration. And that meditation vibrates, and everything in this universe we know is vibrating. Even though this table looks like a stable, sitting here like a hard thing, if you take a microscope and look inside, the molecules are running around. So everything is in vibration, everything operates on vibration. So definitely there is an impact of meditation on our body and every cell. I will give you another example of tuning forks, right? So tuning forks, we have done this in our schools. So tuning forks with the two same exact frequency, you bang one, it starts vibrating. Without doing anything, this guy also starts vibrating. Why? Because the vibrations are sensed by this, it goes through, and they both start oscillating at the same frequency. So that is another proof. And what happens with chanting Om? So every cell, muscle, vein, nerves, entire body gets synchronized and rejuvenated by just, and mind becomes quiet. So it is fantastic to meditate on that. Then what we also do is go through this advanced chakra meditation. People know about this, right? So there is a Muladhara chakra, Swadhisthana, Manipura, Anahata, Vishuddha, Ajna, and Sahasrara. But this is a different subject, but just wanted to mention that this meditation is done for advanced, as an advanced meditation thing for people who are interested. One important thing I want to highlight here is awareness of thoughts. The aim of meditation is not only just to keep the stress aside and block those negative thoughts, but also notice those thoughts and feelings coming in. So that is the awareness I'm talking about. You should be aware that I'm getting stressed. That awareness is very important. And then you can manage. This is very important slide. This is very important slide. The reason is, this is said by Dr. John Deninja. He's a director of research at Benson Henry Institute, mind and body medicine at Harvard affiliated hospital. And what he says is stress and anxiety are major triggers of depression. So that's what he's saying. These are the major triggers of depression. Meditation can alter your reaction to those feelings. Meditation trains the brain to achieve sustained focus and to return to that focus when negative thinking, emotions come up. What does that mean? That means when you are doing meditation, your mind becomes aware that there is something going wrong. There is something, negative thought is coming or stress is developing, but you will develop an ability to look and neglect that. So the moment you say, I'm not worried about that, you are safe. And then your focus comes back to the positive side of the thing. Further, he says the meditation has been found to change certain brain regions that are specifically linked to depression. Now, there may be doctors here in this group, but they can verify this. There is a part called me center. It is a medial prefrontal cortex, and it is the processing center where you process the information about the past and future, worrying about it, right? So there is another one. There's another guy. That is called the fear center, Amygdala. So this part is responsible to trigger the adrenal gland and release the stress hormone called cortisol. And it is a response to the fear and perceived danger. And these two guys work together to create the problem. So these two brain regions work off each other to cause depression. How does that happen? The me center gets worked up, reacting to stress and anxiety. The fear center response leads to the spike in cortisol levels in your system to flight and danger, and that's only in your mind. So it's all happening in the mind, but it is released. Therefore, the research says the meditation helps break the connection between these two brain regions. When you meditate, you are able to ignore negative sensation of stress and anxiety, which explains in part why stress levels fall when you meditate. This is by Dr. Denninger. It is out there. Research is approved, and it is on the Harvard School, medical school. You can research that. So this is another proof. I mean, I'm not saying this. The doctors are saying this. Yogis have been saying this for a long time. And that is also my experience, personal experience, that definitely helps. Now, meditation is like exercise of the mind. So we spend a lot of time doing exercise of the body, but we never care because the mind is running constantly like a computer, running since we get up in the morning till end. Thousands and thousands of unwanted or wanted thoughts will come and go. Think about this every day, in and out, churning, happening all the time. But it needs some exercise as well. So that exercise is provided by meditation. It is also sukshma, mind is sukshma. So if you look at the picture, that's beautiful from Badrinath. If you get some background like that, and if you meditate, it is fantastic. So one thing I also want to stress here is the studies have showed reduction of stress hormone, cortisol, and increase of the good hormones, serotonin. So every time you feel very good because a tiny little bit of serotonin is released in your system and you feel really good, very nice, happy. It's like, and the other important thing of meditation I spoke about earlier, it is about nitric oxide, which is released in your blood or in the system, where it relaxes and then opens up your blood vessels and helps to reduce the blood pressure. That's why meditation helps in reducing blood pressure. That is another important thing. It increases your immunity, and another important information that is all proven there. Those who do meditate, it increases gray matter in their brain, which is very, very important. And there are got thousands of other benefits. So let's go forward. Now, we covered everything. We looked at the stress, we looked at the mind, then we looked at the body exercise, why it is important. Then we went deeper into, and we said why pranayamas are required. And then we also went into more deeper meditation and saying why we should do meditation. So what I want to try to do here today is explain a Hamsa technique which we use. So you might have heard about Soham, right? So Soham is I am that. So it is Hamsa, is taught by Sri M, and we all use that everywhere we go. We teach Hamsa technique. Very simple to do. And now here is the important thing. What yoga says is we recite this mantric sound every day without our knowledge for 21,600 times. So you will say, ooh, that's a big number. How can that be, right? So then I was trying to search for answers for this, but I couldn't find. The book only says it is done 21,600. So I thought, let's me think. So it is related to the breath. So what I did was I took 21,600 and divided it by 24. That gives you 900. Then I thought, well, I will divide it by 60 minutes. So what is the number for 1 minute? So it's 900 divided by 60 gives you 15. Since it is related to the breath, I started thinking why that 15 number, how it can be related. And then you notice when you breathe in a minute, a healthy person does between 12 to 15 times. Breathe in, breathe out, breathe in, breathe out. So that is really correct. That number is correct. It's 21,600 times. You're doing Hamsa, but this time you have to do it consciously. That is the importance here. So since we have got a number of people here, let us try. Yeah, one small Hamsa all together and see how you feel like that. So what you need to do is wherever you are sitting, sit in a comfortable position. Keep your spine erect, right? Spine erect. And then what we need to do is when you breathe in, you say hum in your mind, hum. And then you breathe out and say saw, hum, saw. Here what you need to do is bring your full attention to the tip of your nose and watch the breath. Watch the breath going out, coming in, going out, coming in. Your mind will run away, bring it back. Every time it goes away, bring it back. We all know Vikramam Vetal story in Chandamama. Those who were in India, in my age group probably would know that. So he will never fail. He will go back and bring it back. So same way we need to bring it back, and when we do that, you notice that no other thoughts are coming because the mind has been ordered to focus on one thing. That's what I was saying. It does only one thing at a time. Just focus on this. So put it to work and see what happens. So normally I used to do this for 5 minutes, but people think 5 minutes is too long. I will try this for three minutes, even though you might feel that long. But let's do that. So a bell will go, one ring, and after 3 rings, it will stop. So let us try. Keep your spine straight. Close your eyes. Completely relax. Relax your eyes. Relax your face. And when the bell goes off, start breathing. I will guide you first 2 rounds and then do it yourself. When the bell goes off, we'll open our eyes. Let us start. Breathe in. Completely relax. Focus on tip of your nose. Watch your breath going in and coming out. Inhale, exhale. Hum, saw. Hum, saw. Just watch your breath. 1 minute to go. Twenty seconds. Slowly open your eyes. I hope you enjoyed this very short version of Hamsa. You can practice it for 10 minutes every day, 5 minutes, wherever you can. It will definitely help. So let's move on. I hope you enjoyed it. Now, we looked at the whole thing. We started with the stress. We looked at what is mind. Then we looked at the gross, why we should do yogasanas, and then cleaning of our channels using pranayama, and then bringing the meditation in. So doing all together, how we will manage that, and that it will give you very good exercise and good mental health. Now we look at some other parts, simple things, which I'm going to talk to you, which it will also help in a longer run. So it is about living in presence. So it is a big word. We have heard it many times. What does that mean, living in presence? So what I started, because many times you hear but you don't apply. Unless you apply in your life or practice it, you will never get that experience. So I said, I will make an attempt to go and see what yogis are saying, what experienced teachers are saying about living in presence. So the way I have experienced is basically in a small steps. For example, we spoke earlier that mind can process only one thing at a time, right? So majority of times, either we are in the past or we are in the future. Because when you start in the morning, take an example, when you are taking a shower. When you go in the shower, the water is coming in, you are enjoying the shower, but your mind is towards what is going to happen 9 o'clock when I go in the office. Or you are thinking, I'm going to pack the bags for the kids. And then you are also all thinking about the future. Or you're thinking about last night party. Oh, that was fantastic. We had a nice drinks and all that. So we met all these people. Or you will be thinking about the boss, I'm going to deal with him today. So either it is future or past, but you are not enjoying the shower you are taking, your mind is elsewhere. So even you can start in the shower. What I found is focusing on the heart center is always good. If you got a guru, if you got a devata or something you hold good, or just focus on the heart, watch it all the time. That awareness, looking at this, imagine the water is falling, enjoy the water that is falling on your body, and stop thinking and enjoy that moment. So that is living in presence. The other aspect is, other simple thing is when you are sitting on your desk and you want to walk away and get a cup of tea. So when you get out of the chair, you need not have to think about anything else. You say, I'm walking, watch yourself walking, bring the attention to the heart center. If you got a lot of other gurus and people, some people are devotees of Sai Baba, they can think about Baba here or Guru Babaji, those are in Kriya, and just walk to the water and make sure that you're not thinking anything else. And that is the fraction of second mind gets that rest, which is very important. You never give it rest because it is always thinking. But when it is focusing on this and walking, you are watching yourself going there in presence. So that is the enjoyment of present time. You take your coffee, try to avoid any thinking, look at the coffee, drink, feel the coffee going in, enjoy that moment, goes off, come back to desk, focus on your work. So at least you're done. So try it. It is very difficult. I will tell you, it is not easy. And then it is taking it takes a lot of efforts to do it, but I'm trying to practice that and I find very, very useful. So that is one thing I'm sharing with you. The other thing is about positive affirmations, because as a human being, we are all, many times we are negative. We will think, ye nahi hoga, this will not happen, that will not happen, and negative things, and you get something, there is a fear in the mind. So take that off, because we don't know what is going to be there in the future, and we can't do anything about the past, which has gone is gone, right? So when it's getting in the morning, they all say this. I mean, you all know this, right? So the only thing is putting it into practice. So try to get them in the morning and say, look, everything is going to be fine in the morning. So you can have your own affirmations. That really helps to keep the positive day going ahead of you. And the one important thing which I have learned, and I try to practice that empty your mind every night. Why I'm saying this is because mental health is also important. I have seen, and we all do that all the time, is we carry the old mental scars with us. Something, it is like a wound, we cling to it, we don't want to let it go. So so Guru says they let it go. Yeah. So what does that mean? So I will give one example. Some time ago when I was young, I had a real argument, hard argument with the senior guy, and I did not respect him. And then I said whatever, because I was very young and agitated. At that time, you know how young guys are. And I probably thought later on, when I think about it, it was there in my mind. I was carrying with me saying, just a minute. Yeah, carrying that in my mind. And sorry about that. I think this came off, the battery thing came off, but now we are safe. I was carrying that in my mind. And then when I used to think about this guy, I used to feel a bit annoyed, right? So that you get that bad memory. So you would have a fight with somebody. It might be your brother, sister. It may be some friends, old friends, you would have fought with them. Maybe old boss, or somebody, your good friends or parents, whatever it may be. There will be something somewhere, everyone's life, there will be something there. So what I did in this case, because I was talking to one of the very senior yogis, and then he said, look, the best thing is to take it out from the system so that you're free of that wound. So I called him after many years. I just phoned him and said, look, do you remember me? He said, yes, what you're doing. And then I said, look, do you remember we had that argument many years ago? And I'm really sorry about that. I should not have done this. And then he was so happy, and I was happy. We closed that chapter, but that is gone now, completely gone. When I think of him, I don't feel anything, no grudge, nothing, because I have cleaned that up. So you will have something like that in your life every day. Think about it, get rid of that, because people are there. Past is gone, you can't do anything. If the person is not there, at least in your mind you say, I'm sorry, whatever it is, even though it is not your fault, but you clean it up. I think that has helped me a lot, and it might help you as well. And the next one, we are looking at train the subconscious mind. So they say, it is so powerful, if you tell while sleeping in every night, you will get what you want. That's why many people have seen those who want to become doctors, engineers, it's there in their subconscious mind all the time. They somehow go there, they become successful, they get admissions, they become doctors, engineers, or even some people want to start their business. They're very, very determined. It is always there inside. It works out. And that's what every yogis say, that it is very, very powerful, and you can try. So that much I can share, that there is no harm in trying that. Unless you try, you will never know. So coming back to this about the stress management. So basically, what we say is physical exercise, do some yogasanas even for 5 minutes. I'm just requesting your 5 minutes. 5 minutes, do 5 asanas. That is more than enough. Weekends, you spend more time. Maybe if you've got time, spend 10 minutes on that. Do some pranayamas for 10 minutes. It will definitely help you. They say if you do proper pranayama, within 3 months to 6 months, it will clean up a lot of issues within the body. You will see that happening. Meditation also helps you. Maybe 10 minutes of meditation. Have a healthy diet. Living in presence, I spoke about. Positive assertion, subconscious mind training, we all spoke about that. So other things is also, I have started to apply this, because people say, accept the situation. I mean, when you accept the situation, it helps. But do you apply that? And the reason I'm sharing this is because I'm trying to practice all what I'm saying here. It is all out there. We all know. But the only thing is we don't apply. So try to apply. It helps. It has helped me. So basically, COVID situation, we can't do anything about it except the situation. This is a COVID, there's a restriction, we can't go out. We can't go out. Just accept and move on. And other thing is, when I was young, I used to be reactive. Some email, somebody says something, immediately in this thing, rage, you write back to them. I found that it is better to wait for some time and respond. And we also spoke about doing a positive start. And then if you feel like the stress is building at work, do Hamsa. It has helped me, because it's not that I'm also prone for these kind of things, because in IT there is a lot of pressure, there is a sales number you keep, but you manage that. Deadlines, project management, this and that happens, so it will help you. Other thing they say that the stress can be seen on your face. Yeah, so face, you'll be stressed, immediately somebody will ask, is anything all right? So if you're feeling the stress, relax your eye muscles and then face and try to smile. That also helps. And I spoke about emptying at the night, infusing some positive thoughts. Then we talked about living in presence, etc. Now, the last slide. Here, yoga and meditation is a very rich treasure left by yogis. Please make full use of it. It is for your own sake. Sincere request to everyone to become regular yoga practitioner, because it has helped me a lot. I looked back at 50 years when I was a kid, a lot of health issues. But when I started doing yoga asanas from there on, it gives you real good health. Even if you're doing Shirsasana, you don't get even colds. And sometimes if I sneeze, they will say, oh, this guy has sneezed. So that's what it is, but it's there, proof. And I have thoroughly enjoyed that. So my sincere request, if you have not started, if you are doing it, fantastic. If you're not, please start. And since I'm in IT, I talk about software upgrades. So you know how you get iPhones and you get the software upgrade. If you meditate every day, you will be a better version of yourself next day. That's what I say to people. Because there is an improvement in you. You are not the same person. The cells are changing, everything is changing. Meditation brings that positivity in you. You will be a slightly better person, more better. And we keep going. And I feel that the change is happening in every human being, and all of us, it will happen. It will happen. The human body is a very complex machine. So maintain it with dedication, look after it, because otherwise it's you, right? So if you spend a lot of time building all these things, your career, your family and all that, if the health is not good, what you're going to enjoy? So one last thing, remember, because since I'm in IT, I say you cannot outsource your pain to someone else. Yeah, so you have to face it yourself. So in that case, take the precaution, take the preventative maintenance, take this, enjoy good health. So that's all I want to say. So I have linked all these things, how yoga, meditation will help to manage our stress and build a very healthy body and mind. So thank you very much. Pranams to all.